Hey guys, I'm Jadar, and we will be covering week 2 of J-Pro. Let's get started! Day 5 was Sinnoh. For Sinnoh, I made a Shima Inaga, which is a bird from Hokkaido, Sinnoh's real-life counterpart. A nickname for this bird is the Ice Fairy or the Flying Marshmallow. So I made its type Ice Fairy and made the head of the bird look like a sweet. I decided to add the mochi inspiration in there because of the first time I tried mochi. I'd gotten the cold ice cream mochi, and now that's the only way I could think of it. I know there are more types, but I can't help but think of it that way. I add the little yellow accent for the filling that mochi has, and that is pretty much all to the design. I really like that idea and think that it could turn into a pretty cool line, but I don't know where to go with it. For now, it's just a weak single stage. I didn't realize this until now, but the shiny looks like a water, and I can't unsee it. Mochi, the Mochi Pokemon, a very nice type Pokemon. Mochi are tiny Pokemon that are found in and on Mount Coronet. They stick in groups when freezing at the peak. There are many desserts that are modeled after this Pokemon, such as Mochi. Its ability is Cute Charm, and its hidden ability is Snow Warning. So yeah, I really love making this design. Let's move on to the next design. Day 6 was Hisui. When Legends Arceus came out, I was super surprised that there was no Hisui. A Hisuian...
I found you.
Who's there? Go! More Bommy!
You think that will stop me?
What did you do? Wait, more Bommy? What are you doing?
I'm here to collect your things. This was just your first warning.
Wait, no, where are you going? I have to get more Bommy back, but I have so many questions. My head's spinning, so I'm just gonna move on. Alright, Day 7. Day 7 is Unova, I think. What's going on? I'm forgetting things that don't make sense to forget. I'll try. Okay, so for Unova, I wanted to make a very American Pokemon. More specifically, a very New York Pokemon. So I made a hot dog. Yeah, just a hot dog. Well, more like a hot dog dog. I'll stop being confusing. It's a fire type wiener dog hot dog Pokemon. It's pretty simple. It was pretty simple. It really just looks like a little hot dog with legs, a snout, a tail, and some ears. I really love this cute, goofy design, but... Wait, what was his name? I was gonna start the dex entry, but Is this syrup making me forget stuff? I'll deal with it later. Let me just go wipe it off after this section. Oh, here it is. Sawsup, the hot dog Pokemon, a fire type. Sawsup are friendly and welcoming Pokemon. They inspired a very popular food in Unova, the sausage sandwich. People through the region enjoy eating the Castelia combo, a meal that consists of a sausage sandwich and a Castelia cone. Its ability is Flame Body and its inability is Well-Baked Body. Geez, I did not think that sausage sandwich would be so hard to say when I made that dex entry. Anyways, I think my head's better. So let's test that. Moving on to day 8. Day 8 is New Unova. The prompt is kind of confusing, but New Unova is pretty much just black 2, white 2 Unova. Anyways, I had a cool idea of making a New York Sewer Rat regional Pikachu. I wanted to make a New Unova Pokemon to be an iconic Pokemon that took a complete 180. So I first decided that it would be a form of an iconic Kanto Pokemon. So I narrowed the choices down to Charizard, Pikachu, Gengar, Eevee, Snorlax, or Mewtwo. Let's say the most popular Pokemon from Kanto. I eliminated Mewtwo because the regional form wouldn't make sense. I eliminated Gengar because it would be too hard to make an opposite to Gengar that wasn't just Clefable. I eliminated Charizard because it is starter. So it left me with Pikachu and Eevee and Snorlax. I didn't have any ideas for Snorlax, so that was eliminated. I didn't want to make a regional Eevee because I wouldn't know what type to make it, or if I would eventually have to make the evolutions in the future. So I landed on Pikachu. This really fit because I actually had a concept right when I narrowed it down to Pikachu. New York has a lot of rats, sewer rats to be specific, so I turned Pikachu into a sewer rat. I made sure that all of its lightning and electric elements were toned down a lot. The cheek pouches are now much smaller and its tail is more zigzag than lightning shaped. The little stripes on Pikachu now turned into a rib pattern, showing it's malnourished and doesn't eat much, and it's mostly white with a bright purple as a secondary color. Its feet are much more rat-like, the little claws and all, and the face has an angry expression. This Pikachu would spit out toxins from its cheek pouches and mouth rather than electricity from its cheeks and tail. So here is UNOVAN Pikachu, the malnourished Pokemon, the poison type. UNOVAN Pikachu was the first non-native Pokemon to be found in Unova. When walking through the sewers, some travelers found a large group of these Pokemon. They had recently been surfacing for food, but scientists don't know why. Its abilities are Intimidate and Merciless, and its hidden ability is Corrosion. Day 9 was Kalos, my favorite region. I wanted to make sure that I made a Mega for this region since it's the birthplace of the gimmick. I was going through Pokemon I could give a Mega to, Mega Charizard Z, a new Mega Zygarde since I don't like the official one, Mega Xerneas, but then I would have to eventually make a Mega Yveltal, Mega Bellibolt being my favorite Pokemon, Mega Greninja Y, OG would be X, so that it could match the Charizard's Megas, Mega Aegislash, Mega Talonflame, Mega Go-Goat, list goes on and on. Eventually, I landed on a very strange pick, but I've been vouching for this since ZA was announced. That Pokemon is, as you can see on your screen, Mega KELFKI. I've been a Mega KELFKI supporter since the day I started thinking of Megas for ZA. I've made 2 other designs for it, which were lost on my old iPad, but this is my third take. To briefly explain the past 2, the first one I made was a very far out and very different design. I gave KELFKI lore that there is actually a mischievous spirit inside the keyhole, and in the Mega, it comes out and it's aggressive as ever. This would make it a Seal and Ghost type, which I found cool. The ghoul had a key as a sword and carried the key ring, and the other keys on its tail. Overall, it was a really unique design that I didn't think would work as a mega. The second design was based on the idea of a master key, a key that could get into anything. In this design, I made the keyring and its keys gold and ruby jewels on them, very royal. I gave it a floating crown on the key shape on its head and made a small beard from the pink things underneath the quote-unquote head. I brought back the beard idea, but used the little pink things underneath the head to make a bunch of those to make the beard. I made all the keys now like swords or knives that KELFKI uses to attack foes. Here is KELFKI, the keyring Pokemon, a steel and fairy type. KELFKI has evolved beyond their past duties. They act as their own king and knight, making choices for other KELFKI and fighting the battles they can. Its ability is Master Key, a new ability that gives priority to every move, attacking or status. That may be a bit overpowered, but whatever, that's not my problem. Also, I did struggle a bit with audio recording in this part of the video. I don't know if you can tell or not. Day 10 is Southern Kalos. I really do think I should be more clear with the prompts, because Southern Kalos is really just Kalos Part 2, or the place under the Kalosian Mountains in the south. The part of France that isn't there in Kalos. Anyways, I've always been curious about what's down in that area, so I decided to answer my own questions. My biggest problem with Kalos is the Pokemon. Not the designs themselves, that's why I love Kalos so much, but because there aren't enough of those amazing designs. From past leaks, we've learned about some of the Pokemon that we were meant to get in Kalos, but were never actually added. There are so many designs that are so good, and I think we all wondered why the little peanut was never added. I didn't do the peanut though. I thought that doing that design or its evolution, but so many people have given that line so much attention that it wouldn't feel special at that point. I thought of doing a beta design of the Floette line, but I didn't want to make another regional form. I thought about the cute little chameleon design or its evolution, but I had a hard time giving my own spin to it. I thought about doing the small water bug, but there are speculations that it turned into Wimpod in the next generation. Finally, I ended up on doing the little raptor fossil that would have been instead of Tyrant, I think. I really love this design and hate that they scrapped it, but I also think I couldn't trade Tyrant for anything. So I redesigned that little raptor. Now, I kind of went back on the decision I made of not doing the chameleons by literally just tracing that art they made of it, but that's not my problem. It already looked so cool already, but I really don't have any idea what this design could have been based on. Maybe the Pyroraptor? Honestly, I would love that. The Pyroraptor being my favorite dinosaur and all. Anyway, here's Fossil, the skull Pokemon, a rock and dark type. Fossil are fierce and courageous Pokemon. In ancient times, there was a system where Tyrantrum ruled all. Fossil and its evolution acted as its knights, fighting its battles for it. Its ability is Head Smash, and has the hidden ability Speed Boost. While writing this text entry into the script, I realized that on my Instagram I put Head Small instead of Head Smash, which I find pretty funny. Also, the two Kalos drawings have a huge royalty theme, which I just noticed now. Let's move on to the last design of the video. Day 11, the final day of this week, is Alola. This design was probably the hardest just to decide on what to make, since Alola has so many different types of Pokemon with the Ultra Beasts, Tapus, Legendaries, regular Pokemon. They all look good. I went through so many ideas, like I just said. Some ideas were a 5th Tapu, a new Ultra Beast, a 4th Legendary for Necrozma, Solgaleo, and Lunala based on the Earth. That idea went pretty far. Not making a Pokemon today, but making a trainer instead that would be the guardian of the 5th Tapu's island, but eventually I landed on a pretty simple design that had a layered inspiration. The Pokemon is inspired by the goddess of fire in Hawaiian mythology. Pele. No, wrong Pele. Good, that one. Anyways, one of the first things when I was thinking of Alola was how it was based on Hawaii and the short Pixar film where the lava and the island were singing together. I may sound crazy, hold on, but trust me, it makes sense. Okay? Please, it makes sense. So I created Palava to be a counterpart to Sinnoh, who would reference the island that the volcano was singing with. I made it look like a small hula girl and used a little volcanic rock to look like a dress, but also, well, a volcano with lava spewing out of it. The design was supposed to invoke a volcano erupting and the lava underneath the Earth's surface being its legs. I don't know why I decided to make a physical head instead of making it part of the lava, but it created some neat contrast in the design. I also had the thought of sandy gas during the drawing process, but I think that was only because of the shiny being a reference to the black sand beaches. So here is Lava, the living lava Pokemon, a rock and fire type. When Steenie and Palava come across each other, they will break out into dance until one of them drops. Palava are dirty and will burn Steenie to make sure they win the dance battle. Its abilities are Flame Body and Q-Charm, and its hidden ability is Drought. I would like to add this is a middle stage, the only middle stage I've created for this challenge as of right now. So, that's week 2. I'm sorry for this video being so late, you've these two to blame for it. Anyways, tell me your favorite Pokemon from this video. Next week will be a lore-packed video, so just be mindful of that going into it. So, it will definitely take a long time to edit, so I may have only 4 videos but include week 4 and 5 into one. It just depends. I also got really demotivated to edit, so that's another reason for it taking so long. Anyways, remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to post your drawings anywhere, you can post them as a video under hashtag J_April 2026 or as a post in my community. If you post it as a community post on your own channel, I won't be able to see it. See you all next week.
Jay over here. Oh my god, I finally found you. I've got so much to tell you, and quickly. We don't have much time.